of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football. So are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, huh? Lynch 50, here we go.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Cousins now on second down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Fighting through pressure. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. But let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Here we go. Hey, Steamer. Black.
Play fake. Cousins. Now he'll throw deep left side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice,
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Zoom, zoom.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And, oh, he coughs up the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Here we go.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A handoff. It's Murray. Fights through and now a crease. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Cousins.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Bailey now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Following the interception, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Jumbo! Hey! Let's get off the field! Jumbo!
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Luther, get it! Oko, over here. Check 4, check 4. Luther, change it on it.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We got
2nd down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They go play action. Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Rodgers now on first down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. They'll roll him out right. Going deep for Diggs. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Box it.
On play action, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Dances by him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Rodgers. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Jumbo! 58 on.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Yo, baby, they turn over. Get that ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Sherrills. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Able to fight through one tackle. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Go to 50.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And left side here, it's Graham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Jumbo!
Gotta get the point. Get on the point right here.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning.
And look at this. It's a fake. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Ringo. The hut. 180.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Hey, flipper, flipper.
47's the mic, boy, 47.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete as well.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
That's fine. Yeah.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the lock. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Drops it to Jones in the flat, and he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Rodgers again now. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
No. 319. Gun.
86 is on the go. 86 on the go. That's you.
Hey, check 26.
Hey, I got him.
319.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick 6. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
No.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Graham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 down. Check. 4 down.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
58.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and, boy, they were successful.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
58.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Let's go. Come
And
on.
the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Jumbo. Right there. Over. Gun. No.
Rodgers now on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On second down, Cook. Oh, now he bowls him over. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rhino.
On first and 10, Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Vikings on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Nick Perry in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Graham. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Rodgers throwing on third and long, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ben Gideon in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Lucky 50.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now a give. This is Murray. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ringo. Black.
Again, it's Murray. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Back, back, back!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Easy work. It's coming again.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Vikings on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll run it here. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent, and how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.